When we think of old cartoons, we usually imagine cheerful music, cute characters, and happy endings. But long before animation became family-friendly entertainment, there existed a shadowy side of animated cinema, films that were dark, disturbing, and sometimes downright terrifying. These are the old cartoon movies that dared to explore fear, death, madness, and the darker corners of the human mind. Today, we're diving into 10 animated films made before 1980 that prove cartoons were never just for kids. It all begins with Fantasia from 1940, Disney's ambitious experiment that blended classical music with powerful imagery. While much of Fantasia feels magical, one segment stands out as truly menacing: Night on Bald Mountain. Here, the demon Chernabog rises from a mountain, summoning ghosts, skeletons, and tortured souls in a nightmarish dance of darkness. With its massive, shadowy figure, hellish visuals, and haunting music, this sequence traumatized generations of children and remains one of the darkest moments in classic animation. From the same year comes Pinocchio, 1940, a film that hides brutal horror beneath its fairy tale surface. The innocent wooden boy is constantly threatened by death, transformation, and eternal punishment. The most disturbing sequence takes place on Pleasure Island, where naughty boys slowly turn into donkeys, crying for their mothers as they lose their humanity. The scene is pure body horror, and the idea of children being cursed forever makes Pinocchio far more terrifying than most modern horror films. Then there's Bambi from 1942, often remembered as a gentle story about nature, but in reality, it's a quiet, devastating tale of loss. The infamous moment when Bambi's mother is shot off screen remains one of the most emotionally brutal scenes in animation history. Beyond that, the forest fire sequence turns nature itself into a raging monster, reminding viewers that death can strike suddenly and without mercy. In The Legend of Sleepy Hollow from 1949, Disney embraced gothic horror. Set in a foggy village haunted by superstition, the film builds toward the terrifying chase with the Headless Horseman. With glowing eyes, demonic laughter, and relentless pursuit through dark woods, the horseman feels like something pulled straight from a nightmare. Even today, that final ride remains one of animation's most chilling sequences. Moving into darker political territory, Animal Farm from 1954 takes George Orwell's brutal allegory and turns it into an animated nightmare. What starts as a hopeful rebellion of animals quickly descends into tyranny, executions, and betrayal. Characters are murdered in cold blood, hope is crushed, and the ending offers no comfort at all. Its bleak message about power and corruption makes Animal Farm one of the most emotionally disturbing animated films ever made. In 1973, animation went fully psychedelic and nightmarish with Belladonna of Sadness. This surreal Japanese film tells the tragic story of a woman abused by society and drawn into a pact with the devil. Filled with explicit imagery, haunting artwork, and themes of rape, madness, and spiritual corruption, Belladonna of Sadness feels more like a fever dream than a movie. It's beautiful but deeply unsettling, and stands as one of the darkest animated films ever created. That same year brought us Fantastic Planet, 1973, a French sci-fi masterpiece that feels cold, alien, and cruel. Humans are treated like pests by giant blue beings who casually kill them for sport. The film's slow pacing, eerie music, and surreal visuals create a constant feeling of dread. It's not about jump scares, but about the terror of being powerless in a world that doesn't care if you live or die. In Allegro Non Troppo, 1976, often seen as a darker parody of Fantasia, classical music is paired with cynical, depressing stories about loneliness, greed, decay, and death. From a cat obsessed with an unreachable love to a world that evolves only to destroy itself, the film paints humanity as tragic and absurd. Its bitter tone and bleak humor make it quietly disturbing beneath its artistic surface. Then comes Wizards from 1977, a strange blend of fantasy and post-apocalyptic horror. Set in a world where magic battles technology, the film features mutants, war crimes, and even echoes of Nazi imagery. Despite its cartoonish style, Wizards is filled with violence, despair, and moral darkness, showing a world broken beyond repair and ruled by hatred. Finally, we reach Watership Down from 1978, a film that looks like a gentle animal adventure, but reveals itself as pure nightmare fuel. Following a group of rabbits fleeing destruction, the movie is packed with graphic violence, blood, suffocation, and terrifying visions of death. Rabbits tear each other apart, scream in agony, and face extinction, all portrayed with shocking realism. Its themes of survival and tyranny make it one of the most infamous dark animated films ever made. These old cartoon movies remind us that animation was never just about laughs and bright colors. Long before modern adult animation, these films dared to explore horror, tragedy, politics, and existential fear, leaving behind images that still haunt viewers decades later. They stand as proof that some of the darkest stories ever told were drawn, painted, and brought to life frame by frame.